Hello and thank you again for joining us for another quick tip of New York State MLS. Today we're going to take a look at how you can add a listing to your New York State MLS account and then show you how you can select which websites you use for your syndication. So there's two different ways on how you can add a listing, actually three. The first one you'll see right here on the main site of your profile. Once you've logged in, this is what you're brought to. It's your main profile wall. You've got the big add listing button, which is the plus sign. You can also add a listing here from the quick links section on the left hand side of your page, as well as from the listings drop down from your profile. So I'm going to go ahead and click add new listing. And now from here I've got four different options on the type of listing that I can create. Starting from the bottom and going up, we've got clone inactive listing. This is going to let you essentially duplicate or clone an expired or not active listing from New York State MLS via MLS number. This is only going to work with listings that have already been in New York State MLS. So if you try putting in an MLS number from a different MLS, it's not going to work. So reasons you may use the clone inactive listing option is, say you listed a property for some sellers in the summer and through the fall, but then winter came around and they said, you know what, let's just take it off the market. People aren't really looking right now. You can go ahead, deactivate that listing, withdraw that listing. Then springtime comes around, they give you a call and say, you know what, let's put it back on the market. You can then go through, instead of reactivating that old listing, go ahead and clone it. So this way you give that listing a brand new MLS number. It's going to be fresh, and that'll allow you to go through and then manipulate the information on there, update the listing information, maybe add new pictures. So it's just going to get you started. Above that is any of the listings that are going to be in the city and the 5 boroughs. So if it's in the Manhattan, the Bronx, Queens, Brooklyn, or Staten Island, go ahead and use this option. And then above that, we've got the search the tax records as well as the blank listing. Now this is going to be for any listing that's outside of the city and the boroughs, including Long Island. Using the tax records is going to allow you to search for a property using public record data. And what that will do is that will take information from those public records and plug it into your listing, so you can create a listing even quicker than you would normally. But for this demonstration, we're going to go ahead and click blank listing. And now this is our basic listing wizard. It's about an 8-step process, and it makes listing creation very, very easy, where I can have a listing up within just a few minutes. So right off the bat, you're going to see I've got all these different fields here. These ones are in red. That means they are required. So anything in red is going to be required. These gray fields, not required. But of course, you can fill them out if you'd like to make your listing as full and complete as possible. So first I'm going to go ahead and just fill out the basic information about the property. The type of home that it is, the type of sale. Now I'm going to go through and go ahead and do the address. I get the drop down. And there we go. I'm going to select my school district. And then zone, of course, I can put, I know it's residential, so I can go ahead and do that. Now I'm going to click next step to go to the next step. And you'll see that each time I click next step, it's going to say listing was saved as a draft. Now what that means is if I get pulled away from my desk, I've got to go to a meeting, or I forgot that I have a listing appointment, I don't have to worry about losing all the information that I've already gone ahead and put in, because my listing is going to be saved as a draft and I can always go back to it at any time. Now this step pulls up a map, and matching the data that I put in for the address puts a pin on the map. If it was in the wrong spot, I can go ahead and move it wherever I need be. But this was right on the money, so I'm going to just keep it there and go to the next step. Here's where I can put the price information, or excuse me, the listing type as well as the listing date. I'm going to put this back here. We've got access to the property, and then below that is the commission and the broker split that you would put on your listing. This is what you've agreed on with your seller. So I'm going to put my buyer's agent commission here. You can do anything that you'd like that you and your seller agree on, whether it's a flat rate or it's a percentage. Go ahead and put that in there. Then below that, we've got seller information. You can put the homeowner's name in there, and then you can check all of the types of sales that apply Say if this was a short sale bank owned foreclosure, I could go ahead select all of those, but this is just a typical sale, so I'm just going to go ahead, select that, and click on the next step. Following step here is where I'm going to go ahead and be able to put in all the basic information about the property. So as I go through here, just put in some information here. All right. And once I've gone through and I've done all this information, just like I've always done, go ahead and click the next step. And now here's where we're going to get to the meat of the listing with the property description. And you'll see we've got a few different fields here. The first one is going to be your virtual tour link. This is where you can go ahead and put in your branded virtual tour. This link will then be displayed on your New York State MLS listing, and it's also going to get syndicated out to the different sites that use it, like Zillow and Trulia, and all the other partner websites that we feed to through ListHub. If you don't have a virtual tour link, don't worry about it. I suggest always putting something in there. This way you're getting that extra exposure for yourself and your listing and your company. So maybe if you've just got a company website, go ahead, put the company website in there. Or if you've got this listing on your company website, a dedicated page, go ahead and put that link in there as well. Below that, we've got the marketing blurb and the public remarks. Now, they're very similar, but they're different in two different ways. Whereas the marketing blurb is going to allow you to self-promote yourself. So in addition to putting in the property description of the home, you can actually say, for more information, contact me at this phone number, this email. So this way you're increasing the chance of getting more leads sent to you directly, because when buyers see this listing out on public sites that ListHub does syndication through, you can go ahead and capitalize on that, because you're going to have that additional exposure and that additional contact information so people can contact you directly. So I'm going to go ahead and just fill out some basic information here. And you'll see I'm going to type in for more information. Contact Dave at nystatemls.com or at 888-769-7657. So now, instead of having to type that out again for our public remarks section, I'm just going to click the copy marketing texts, and you're going to see it just automatically copied it down for me. I just have to go ahead and delete the information with my contact information. Now, the public remarks section is what goes to Realtor.com as well as the New York State MLS IDX. We have these two separate fields for your benefit to allow you to put your contact information in that marketing blurb and then separate it from what Realtor.com allows, because Realtor.com has a little bit different rules than all the other public websites. So we allow you to differentiate from two different feeds to those sites so you can benefit and put your contact information into that description. Below that, we've got confidential remarks and directions. And then on the next step, we've got tax information as well as HOA information if it's applicable for that property. This next step here is the second to last step. It's just uploading photos for your listing. From here, you can either drag and drop photos directly into this folder, or I can click the Add Files button and go ahead and just open up things from there. Once I put them, I drag my photos in, I click the Start Upload section. They'll upload and I'll be brought up to the next step where I can reorder my photos and add captions to them as I see fit. Once I do that, I can go ahead and agree to my terms of use. If I've got my terms of use, I can go ahead yes, and if I've got permission from the seller to sell the listing, I click yes as well. These last few fields here is allowing you to decide where you want your listing to go. You've got Realtor.com, Zillow, Trulia, Homes and Home Finder. We feed directly to all of these websites. Then we also do international syndication. as well as syndication to Juwai, which is part of international syndication, and that's the #1 search site in China. So a lot of business going on in China where buyers there scooping up international properties. So that's just another great portal for you. We also have our List Hub syndication, as well as the IDX. Once you've selected where you want to go ahead, click the next step. Your listing is done, it's live, and it's good to go. Thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you guys soon.